my daughter didn't come to me unless she needed something. She didn't tell me about her day. She didn't talk to me about what happened at school. She would go tell that to her mom. So I realized the self-awareness and the self-accountability. I'm conditioning my daughter that I'm Santa Claus, bro.
Hello and welcome back to the Lakeshore Video Podcast. My name is George Niksch, and with me today is Three Brothers No Filter. And they're a brand new podcast. They are about helping family men become better husbands, fathers, and just better men in general through conversations about accountability, healing, and personal growth.
Facts.
And they have just been going off. Like lately, they've been on fire. You've been getting like viral clips, million views, stuff like that. So tell me about the podcast a little bit. Like how did you grow it so quickly?
Shoot, man, these brothers of mine just be going crazy.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. And people, they really enjoy our conversations because a lot of the stuff that we talk about, you really can't find those conversations out there.
Yeah. And so let's just dive right in. Like, why do some men say they want accountability, but the moment somebody tells them the truth, they get upset?
I think a lot of it has to do with pride, man. We are men. We don't, when we're natural born leaders, natural born leader doesn't want to be told what to do. A leader is supposed to go ahead and figure out the trials and tribulations and learn from the mistakes and go ahead and reapply. You know, so if you got somebody telling you what to do or telling you how to do it, that hinders a man's learning ability and capability to expand his growth in where he wants to go.
Facts.
I think the answer is going to be the same across the board. It's ego versus growth. I think so many men got programmed at saying they want accountability, but when accountability is at your door and it's knocking, you try to act like it's a bill collector. You want to dodge it. And a lot of people don't have proper training with facing problems up close and personal. Accountability scares people's growth. And sometimes when you're refusing to grow up, you dodge everything. Accountability, and it mess up your relationships at work, at home, on the job, with your kids.
Right.
Dodging accountability ain't just about being a man. The way you do one thing is the way you do all things.
Facts.
Very true.
You dodging on manhood, you dodging it at work, you dodging it with your lady, you dodging it with your kids.
Yep.
Before you look up, everything's about dodging accountability. And unfortunately, and sad to say, we say this all the time, you was born a male. You're going to have to earn being a man.
Facts.
And it start with accountability.
See, I knew he was going to come in kicking the doors down, man.
There it is.
But I want to make this really clear because our message is direct, but it's also helpful. Because what Noble say all the time, bro, it's not about blame, it's about balance. So we're not here, when we say we want to help men with the accountability part, sometimes, like Noble say, man, you got to wake their ass up. So how do you do that if you know they don't take kindly to the soft approach? You know, that don't work. Sometimes you got to punch them in the face with it to wake them up. But I would tell you the feedback that we have been having from men and from women as well has been nothing but great things. They say, man, like we need that. So man, bro, it's just been an amazing journey so far. But yeah, bro, we most definitely kicking doors down and breaking jaws, man, with this message.
Yeah. And, I mean, I think that's a great message. Like anybody can, say that they want accountability, but when you have to step up to the plate, it's like,
You feel attacked.
it's a lot harder.
Yeah, they feel attacked.
And they bring accountability to you.
Yeah.
And you're not mad at the person that brought it to you. You're mad at the mirror.
You're mad
At
because
the
you finally
mirror,
got
I'm showing you, and you finally got to fix that, and you're not ready for the demolition that being accountable caused.
Right.
You're not ready to dismantle this thing that took you all. They just say you 30 years old, and you spent 30 years being not accountable. That means we have to dismantle 30 years.
Right.
And I tell people all the time, whatever you spent your life building, you think is important. So the moment the next level comes, the next level gonna cost you this level. Now you got to go to the foundation and break this building down that you spent 30 years building up, even though the building trash.
Yeah.
The property value low, the windows got curtains in you got sheets in your window. The door really don't work. It's 8 people living in a 2-bedroom apartment, and you're afraid to tear this thing down because it's your home.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? I think accountability, if you don't start there, we're not attacking you. Man, if you're watching this, we say this all the time. This is not about blame. It's about balance.
Balance.
We just want you to know step one is accountability.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
it.
Right.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah. So what's like a hard truth about manhood that most men don't want to hear?
You know, I go ahead and I kick the doors down on this one. A hard truth about being a man that they don't want to hear is that you're wrong. You wrong. This is also where it comes to, we talk about self-accountability, but self-awareness is wrong as well. So like a lot of men, they don't understand that, bro, you not being able to apologize, you not being able to take criticism is an ego, it's a pride thing. You're not perfect. You know what I mean? You ain't, like, God didn't bless you like Solomon with all the wisdom in the world. You're gonna make mistakes. You got to own the mistakes. And matter of fact, there's a lot of times where, like he said, if you do the way you are about one thing, you like that about all things. And if you don't understand that, it's some situations where you're going to be wrong. You're gonna fail at relationships. You're gonna fail at fatherhood. You're gonna fail at work. Bro, it's okay to apologize.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I do it to my kid all the time. Hey, you know what? The way daddy handled this was wrong. I apologize. And so a lot of men, they don't want to hear I'm wrong. I messed up. And since they don't want to hear it, they damn sure ain't about to say it. You know, and this is why when we look at some of our comments in the videos where we talk about accountability, self-accountability for a lot of adults, they'll say, but my parents never apologized to me, so that's why I don't apologize.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's wild. And so you saying, so basically what they're saying is, since my childhood or my trauma and everything when I was growing up was effed up, it's okay for me to stay effed up because this is what my parents, you got to break the cycle.
Yep.
Right. And so that's one of the truths, but I know my brother's got some other things, but to me, that's one of the biggest things is men being able to say I'm wrong.
And I'm gonna tell him I agree with that, man, because as Noble was talking about earlier, life is always about reinvention. Everything that he talked about was reinventing yourself.
Right.
And you don't know when it's going to come up. You could be, like you said, you go 30 years doing the same thing. When 31 hits, it's time to do something different. 35, it's time to do something different. We know when 40 hit, that's when everybody start having the epiphanies about life. You know, that's when men go ahead. We might have a midlife crisis. We might say, oh, we getting older. We need to tap back into our younger, youthful days, you know. And then now we're trying to reinvent ourselves to be younger. But we need to reinvent ourselves through wisdom. We need to reinvent ourselves through accountability. We need to reinvent ourselves through listening to other people so that we can expand our knowledge and grow.
Talk to
And
him,
until
brother.
it really comes to that point, men will continue to be stuck and society will continue to put us in a category because that's what society does. When society sees you doing something wrong, they like to stick you in a bubble, put you in a category, put you in a cubby hole. But then what you got to do is you got to break that cubby hole. So if we're not willing to break the cycle, break the system, and break the monotony of accountability, of not wanting accountability, men are gonna have a hard time. Cause you know, guess what? If we're not gonna give it to each other, the women are gonna really give it to us. And then that's where we don't want to hear from the women. So why don't you just swallow your pride, get you some brothers around, like you have here around the table,
Facts.
and then get you on a better direction.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, guys, that's Life Coach Jeff.
That's what he do.
That's Life Coach Jeff.
That's what he do.
This is what I do,
You didn't
baby.
know, that's Life Coach Jeff. What's a hard truth? The hard truth for me is the saying, you're a strong, silent type. I think that's a damn lie that's killing us. The only reason I say that is because we was fed that poison to think that man ain't supposed to cry, they ain't supposed to feel, they ain't supposed to need nobody.
Yeah.
And this is why so many men are walking around emotionally disconnected.
Yeah.
They disconnected from the women, they disconnected from the children, they even disconnected from themselves. And they was told being vulnerable, that's weakness. And I'm here to tell y'all being vulnerable is the absolute entry point. That's the portal to being strong.
Yeah.
If you can't be vulnerable, you can't be nothing. That's why you walking around empty. You're nothing. You're a gallon jar with a liter of water.
Say that again for the people in the back, big
You
dog.
a gallon jar with a liter of water.
Right.
But just because you got water in your gallon,
Don't mean
you
it's
feel
full.
important.
Come on.
Yeah.
You don't need to be filled up. You know why? Because I got some water. There's so many people walking around with the sickness because they can live because it didn't kill them.
Right.
So they won't go get the healing. And that's what a hard truth when I hear men say, oh, he the strong silent type. No, that just means he holding a lot of things in.
Can I say something about that, big bro? A lot of times when people say they're the strong silent type, you're the strong silent type verbally. but it comes out in other ways really loud.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So you might not speak about what you're dealing with internally, but you also lashing out. You also got some anger issues. You also really, really stressed, and it comes out in other ways. And this is why when we talk about Three Brothers No Filter, the things we're talking about is really to let men know, bro, it's okay. A lot of men are dealing with that, but that's because their daddy was like that and their daddy was like that. It is a cycle, bro. And if you are a general, right, like your family is your unit. Again, going back to the part where it's okay to be wrong. Listen, a problem came to our doorstep. I put together a battle strategy, and it is failing. Why am I marching my troops into a battle? I know they can't win. I know we're not gonna win. But instead of saying, "Hey, listen, we need to redirect, regroup, and refocus,"
shameless plug,
right? Instead of saying we need to go back to these battle strategies and go back to the drawing board and retreat, they're like, "Hey, man, no, hey, charge." That's not okay. So, I'm really glad that we had these conversations when it comes to men. But again, it starts with accountability and self-awareness, bro.
And I just want to tell our man that's watching, vulnerability is not weakness. It takes more gut to open up and heal than it takes to keep that fake facade that you're walking around with. That's why our episode Monday is so dope, because we asking you've been taught to be the man, not a man. And it's clout of being the man killing a man. You learn how to be the man before you learn how to do basic. There's so many men that can't even change a tire. You're gonna run a house. How you gonna hold a whole house down? You can't even change your tire.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
You have to be accountable for your own like self-worth. What are you doing in life? You gotta be accountable for, and what you guys are saying, I resonate with that. Like it's really hard for people to admit when they're wrong.
Right.
And that's the only way you can take accountability, is admit, hey, I did something wrong here. I need to fix this.
Yeah.
Because the first step is self-awareness.
It's self-awareness.
First step is self-awareness. We can say to take accountability, but in order to take accountability, you got to know what you're doing first.
Yeah.
So if men aren't willing to take self-awareness and say, okay, here's a list of all these negative traits. And I have to be not ashamed to put those negative traits out on the forefront. My man said it earlier. We don't want to look at the mirror.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror. We now heard the song. I'm asking you to change his ways. It's a reason why Michael was asking the man in the mirror to change his ways. It's because your current situation and the current state of mind is not working.
Yeah.
You have to switch something. So again, until we look at that mirror of self-awareness and we say, all right, I'm about to burn the house down, kick the door down, so that way we can rebuild. I'm telling you, it's going to be a rough road.
Well, that fake facade that you're holding up is not a cage. Well, it's a cage. It's not a shield. Y'all get what I'm saying when I say it's a cage, it's not a shield. And until you break free, you're going to stay trapped in your head.
Yeah.
You're going to be up here and you're going to be 40 and 50 years old.
Stuck.
Yeah.
He said the words.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I can definitely resonate with that. You guys had a video go viral about fathers being present. Why do you think so many people connected with that message on such a personal level?
I think it's because go ahead, bro. Cook, bro. Okay.
Yeah, cook.
I was gonna say I think because in life, I can speak to this because my father wasn't present. That's what people are, I don't want to say used to seeing, but that's what a lot of people have been through and a lot of people have seen. We only get used to it because mainstream media pumps it out there. Single mother all the time, raising 2-3 kids, deadbeat fathers not around.
Don't get us started.
I know, bro.
Don't do it.
I know, bro. I know. I'm going there.
Because take them down.
Because
women gonna hate us.
I know they gonna hate us. It's like my guy says, we're programmed to think this way. We're conditioned to think this way. So you got to remember, clips like that go viral because we see it on television, we see it on shows. It's literally, and I have to say this as well, it's kind of like mainstream in the Black community for that as well.
Talk to him.
It's a talking point. It's a cliff note. It's a real good hook. You know what I mean? To really get these people talking and saying, oh, okay, well, this man not around. Well, baby girl, he wasn't around for me either. So why is he gonna be around for you? So now we made this a whole cultural thing.
Right.
When really we need to go back in the recesses of the mind and tap back into those positive notes to say, well, how was it when the men were there? What are those positive things that we could be saying about the men that are here now?
Right.
Why do we have to focus on the ones that's not there? Evidently, if he's not there, it's the reason why he's not there. You don't have time to pick apart that and go ahead and try to figure. All you're going to do is get pissed off and mad even more and then you're going to want to keep playing the blame game. No. If you want to be a person that can help better build up your child in terms of parenting, you don't need to bash the man. You don't need to bash the woman. You need to do the best you can to help raise that child. And that's why I believe it resonated so tough, because a lot of people have been through it. And in the Black culture, it is now so mainstream that it's expected for a father not to be in the child's life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know why it went viral? First of all, it has 3 brothers with no filter.
There it is, man. There it is.
That's the first
Talk your
reason,
talk,
bro. But it went viral because they had a no filter response. And the video was really, it was tackling a topic that's been festering in our communities for a while. And we got way too many fathers out here that's just sperm donors. They'll pay us.
Yeah.
That's not actually dads to these kids. And these kids ain't asking for a handout. They asking for a hand to hold. They asking for a voice to guide, a presence to say, I got you. And that video was one of those moments where they got a chance to see fathers as provision, not just providers. And we try to tell dads all the time, you're bigger than the money you put into the house.
Right.
You bigger than what they said you was. You bigger than the program. And if we don't start having these conversations out loud, then we continue to stay silent and we are killing ourselves slowly. We die at 35. We just don't get buried till we're 62 or maybe longer, 70. What's the age at
Man, if this is noble content, bro, this is what he do. If y'all ain't found out about this, man, oh my God.
Hey, but
This man in his
but
pocket.
these
is
kids
hardcore.
need you. Dad,
Yeah.
if you listening, these kids need you. They don't just need your money. They need you to show up. They need you at the schools. They need you at the games. They need you in the home. I don't care what that mother said. I don't care what's going on between you and your BM. If you don't know what BM stand for, it stands for the child of the mother of the child.
Right.
You got to stop letting that argument or that broken relationship or that communication disagreement take you away from your kids. You laid down and had a baby with her, you need to figure it out.
Right.
And if you got to tuck your tail to figure it out, then you better cut the tail off. Because guess what? You should have thought them kids are growing up without these fathers. And guess what? That's why these kids shooting each other. Because they don't know how to defend themselves with logic. They only know emotional response. They've been watching their mother their whole life. Not to blame mothers, but mothers are emotional. When the mother get frustrated, she react emotional. You ever seen the mother screaming at her kids? That's what they do. So when these kids have feminine teachers and feminine teaching, they grow up and they got feminine reactions. So now 2 men are talking, but both of them men have feminine teachers. So guess what's happening?
They about to
they
lash
acting
out.
like
That's it,
girls.
man.
Yeah, that's it.
They can't fight. So guess what they do? They shoot.
Yeah.
They do the biggest regret of their life, and they don't realize we lost 2 lives. One person might be in the ground, one person might be in the jail, and man, we got to stop.
Yeah.
So man, if you grown enough to lay her down, turn her around, and throw her in a circle, be man enough to stick around.
That's
yeah.
it.
Nah, I mean,
No filter.
and that's real, bro. And I'm gonna be honest, bro. A lot of times when people see us talking on social media and they see our clips, they don't know that we're talking from experience.
Yeah.
A lot of people are conditioned on social media to see people talking about stuff that they ain't never been through. So they think we one of them, and it's not. And I have a bunch of clips out there talking about how I should have been a better father. Arguments with my wife, because what I realized was, yeah, man, I was the father that was absent and present at the same time. My wife is married. I'm married to we got kids, but I work so much, and I thought, man, my job is done. I'm protecting, I'm providing, but I called it the 3 P's of fatherhood. The last P is being present. And what's so crazy is because my daughter is 6, bro. I was thinking about this the other day. I almost broke down crying because my daughter is 6. Out of the 6 years of that girl's life, I've been present for 1. I've always been around, right? And I've been constantly just like working, man, and working and working and working and working. But what I realized was my daughter didn't come to me unless she needed something. She didn't tell me about her day. She didn't talk to me about what happened at school. She would go tell that to her mom. So I realized the self-awareness and the self-accountability. I'm conditioning my daughter that I'm Santa Claus, bro. right? The only time that she need to come talk to daddy is if she needs something. So I want the men that's watching this, don't be surprised when your kids are 15 through 18 and they only treat you like Santa Claus. In the context, you're not about to be listed as my father. They about to have you in there as my wallet.
Ooh.
God.
Bro, love is not a transaction. It's a action. So the best way that I could like put that into I guess contact with people, we seen the pursuit of happiness. That man was not less of a father because he didn't provide.
Say that.
He was not. That if anything, people were saying like, man, I wish I had a dude like that in my life for my son. He was always there. Even in the thing that I loved about that movie, you remember the scene when he was on the basketball court and he was like, hey man, don't be shooting that ball. We ain't got time. Right? He didn't let his trauma and the trauma that's cost him like his failures. He didn't let his failures as a man be the reason why he put that on his kid. Hey, listen, man, don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something, not even me. Yep. So what are we talking about? And if you're a man out there and you think that just because you work 80 hours a week and you work hard for your family, which you're supposed to be doing anyways, that your job is done, I want to let you know that you're failing as a father. You have a teacher, right? If a teacher shows up and don't teach, but they're there, is that a good teacher? If you go to work and you're not working, are you a good employee? If you are a father and you're there, but you're not teaching, you're not leading, you're not guiding, I will argue that you are not a good father. You're bigger, like providing is a responsibility, not the responsibility. If you want to be a provider, then don't call yourself a father, bro. Just say, hey man, I'm your sponsor. I'm just sponsoring your lifestyle. Do what you want with the money. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
And a lot of fathers out there are going to come up with this excuse. They didn't have a dad.
Right.
And that's the cycle that we're trying to get some of these guys to break. We're trying to let you know that there's a lot of guys that think not having a dad made them a better dad. And we say this all the time. Not having a dad did not make you a better dad. It made you a man that valued fatherhood to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Because long as you present more than him, you feel like you completed a task as a father. I'm good. I did better than my father.
That's a low bar.
That's a very
low
low
expectation.
bar.
Yeah.
So you know what you guys got to understand in that movie, A Pursuit of Happiness, he did tell his son, put the ball down. But then he had self-awareness.
Yes.
And he said, you know what? I'm reflecting on my child.
Yes.
And then he corrected the
Right.
behavior.
And guess what? He's not even me. I was wrong, son. If we break that conversation, I was wrong. If you got anything you want to accomplish in life, don't let nobody tell you you can't do it. Not even me.
And you know what this boils down to?
Talk to him, Jeff.
Get him, Jeff. He about to get him. You know when he leaned to the side, he leaned up to the mic. He about to get him.
This is about the visual representation
Yes.
that these young boys have when they're in the presence of a father-like figure,
Yeah.
or having someone or something there to substitute for that.
Yeah.
So like we always say, what do young men who don't have any guidance or direction lean towards? People always want to say they lean towards the streets, right?
Yeah.
They go ahead towards that aspect of it because they're trying to find that same love that you can get from a parent. They try to find that in the wrong areas.
Yep.
That same respect they try to get from a parent. They go into the wrong areas again. That same how can I put it? That same pedestal that you want to be put on from your parent to know that, baby, you could do no wrong in my eyes. They go into the wrong areas for that. So the thing is, when you look at movies like The Pursuit of Happiness, you have to remember, dad was present and always teaching every chance that he took.
Right.
You know? So guess what? It will be safe to say that the child that he was raising will go ahead and be able to reciprocate back to his family as he gets older.
Exactly.
Now, if you don't have it, we talking about these generational curses and these cycles. If you don't have it, we just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper into the hole.
Hey, not to mention, all the girl wanted to be as happy.
And let's say that too.
He had to leave, huh?
Because he had to get rid of the baggage because all she was barking about was, we don't have money to do this. We don't have money to do that. Well, baby, sometimes we know it take money, but the man also had a dream and a goal and he stuck to it.
Yeah.
A lot of times these boys and these young men do not have a figure in their life that shows them, hey, it takes perseverance to get through these things. You can't just quit just because something became hard for you. You know, I'm going to tell you this. I always watch my grandfather all the time. That was my visual representation. Selah, when you were talking about earlier about working 80 hours a week, not being there a lot of times, shout out to grandfather, because I'm going to tell you, grandfather, Big Jimmy Rutherford was there. He was in some aspects. But the thing is, I saw where my grandfather wasn't emotionally present because he was old school mentality. Old school mentality is that the man will go out, work all the time, get the bacon and get the money. And the wife, she'll go ahead, you give her the money, she'll disperse it and she pay all the bills, she know what to do with it. That was the household. That was my visual representation. It wasn't until I got older, I said, now I have to flip that script. Because even before, because I don't have any kids now, but even before I was wanting to have a child or think about being present in a child's life, I said, I work at U.S. Steel. That's 8, 12, or 16-hour days. When am I going to have the time to pour into a small individual? You know, because I'm trying to provide and protect. I'm missing out on that whole present option. So now I had to reshift over the years. Now I found a job where I work days. I might work some 12s now, but see, now I had to put myself in a better position. So now when I have a child, when me and my wife are having these conversations, we saying, hey, we want to bring a little one into this world. Now I have a baseline. Now I have something to start from. So when we bring, not I, because I don't bear the child, she does. So when she brings this child into the world, now I set myself up so I can be present for this child's life.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say this. I'm going to ask you guys a question. Because I don't like for us to talk. You know, we like to give a man steps. We want a man to know that we're not just here to attack y'all. So what would you say to someone out there that's not present? What are we saying to the fathers that's not present right now, guys? What type of steps can we give them?
That want to be present or just not present in general?
Who knows if they want or not?
Okay, since our show is really for the family man, let's just say this is for the family man that want to be present.
That's good.
Yeah, okay. Right? The family man that want to be present. And shoot, George, we can include you on this as well. But so like my thing is this. I understand that everybody's situation is different. Some men out there still working U.S. deals or whatever. I worked night shift for a year. So when my family came home, I was sleeping. And you see what I'm saying? And when I woke up, they were sleeping. You know, so it was crazy. But I made it my goal to be present. And I'm not saying present, that don't always mean that you got to give your family as many hours as you get a job, right? Because sometimes you just can't. But it's the quality of the presence. Right. So if you are working a job and then your family gets the leftovers and that's very low quality, then the steps for you would be, okay, how can I maximize this? Maybe it's me not playing my game. Maybe it's me not going and drinking with the homies. Maybe it's actually, hey, let me read this book to my kids, right? Instead, like, why don't we go out into the backyard? Why don't we go for a walk? Because kids need little things, bro. Your wife, you know, they understand if you putting food on the table, they see how much you work. They just need the little things. And as long as they know that you give them the best that you can and it's coming out from the goodness of your heart, that's the first step. Is just trying to maximize and the quality, increase the quality. Other thing is just listening.
Yeah.
A lot of people forget about the listening part. So when we come home, for some reason, it's always mommy mommy good cop, daddy bad cop. So when I would come in the house, all right, man, who ain't been listening? So now they just look at you as the enforcer. You're not even the dad. People, when you come in a room, when you come in the house, everybody go in their room. It shouldn't be like that. So just understanding, you know, when you come in, what does this house need? Do I need to be a listener right now? Right? Do I need to be the nurturer right now? Do I need to be the chef right now? You got to find the gap and fill the gap.
And I like that listening part that you're talking about because I feel that listening part is very hard for men in general. Again, when we say we want to be the leader, it's very hard to take a critique or direction from somebody that you telling me you want me to go ahead and command the ship. And now I have to listen to input from you. When I'm the one that sees everything in front of the battlefield.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because a general has captains.
That's it.
Right?
Yeah.
And so a lot of times you got generals that's not on the field with their troops. They calling the shots from the little maps. And
exactly.
Right? So the same way you can have a football coach and he'll say, hey, listen, y'all the ones playing. If y'all see a need to be an audible, let me know. We in this together. As soon as you decide to be a general that does not take any kind of advice from his troops, morale gets low. They want to know, okay, I understand that you putting together the plan, but if I'm a pawn that you moving, shouldn't I be able to say, I don't like that spot over there? Right?
Exactly.
So we are a unit We are a unit. And I think the biggest thing, and I told my wife this one time, is, hey, listen, I see the picture. You see a pixel. Because my problems that I'm thinking about dealing with is bigger than this one little thing. But I told her that don't mean that your advice or your vision is not important, because a picture is a bunch of pictures.
Exactly.
How can we work together to get the image that we want, right?
Women help connect the dots.
Exactly.
What I'm gonna say to you guys, and this is gonna be short and simple, so we can get to the next joint.
Yeah.
Want to be a dad, want to be a parent.
Yeah.
Do the homework. Fix your shit. You know what I mean? Keep
Straight to the point with
your
it.
shit together.
Right.
You know what I mean? And do the homework. And if that don't work, find somebody that you think is a great dad. And ain't nothing wrong with being a copycat as long as you copying the right cat. It's on you.
Yeah.
Man, yeah.
So what you guys are saying is like a lot of fathers just think that their children need a provider, but what they really need is an emotionally available father.
That's exactly.
Someone to listen to them, someone to guide them.
They need you to be the man God designed you to be. And if that's not a provider, that's okay. You might be that show up dad that comes to all the games. Everybody in the world is not meant to have money. He didn't make all of us to be rich. Yes, he did. But there's different riches. See, you rich financially. I'm rich in love. He's rich in information. He's rich in health. And you know what I mean? The problem that I see is everybody want one type of rich. Everybody want to be rich financially. So now everybody think dad's gotta know. There's somebody right now. I know a bunch of rich poor people. They rich financially, but they broke spiritually. So I would tell a dad that it's you be the best man God designed you to be, and whatever that man is, that's the father you is. Because ain't no rule book to fatherhood.
Right.
Yeah. So like if your job gets the best version of you and your kids get what's left over, it's like
Your job.
that's not how it should be.
Yeah.
If your job get the best version of you, know what that tell me? That tells me that you can do it. You just choosing to do it for them because
Prioritizing the job over.
Yes, sir. Come
you
on.
just doing it because of the bill. You stuck in a program.
Yeah.
Even bills got you, or that being the man got you. But being a man, guess what? I'm a man. You know what that means? A bill don't scare me, because it's coming back next week. It's coming back next month.
Yeah.
Being a man don't scare me.
That's it.
I'm a man. I don't care what I don't gotta have nothing on. I can stand up. Forgive me for saying this, with nothing on, and I'm still a man.
Right.
You know what I mean? No matter if my shirt dirty, clean, I'm still a man.
Man, you know what? I think one of the biggest things that I'm actually starting to notice from some of my friends that's having kids at a young age, there are a lot of men who use working hard as an excuse.
Yes.
Because being that emotionally present father, they think that's harder. So they'd rather just go to work. So they're really hiding behind a job.
Now, there are some people who will hide.
They're
There are some
hiding
people who
behind their
hide.
job. And so because when you come home and you can see them babies, bro, and they crying, they taking their diaper off, man, this shit, some places you gotta clean some stuff up. They crying, whining, you gotta do all these things. They don't know how to mentally, they don't have the mental capacity to understand how to navigate through that. So they'd be like, man, that's a woman's job. No, it's not. A woman can handle it better, but that's just not her job, bro. If y'all are we talking about the family, man. If both of y'all are in that, you telling me you can't take care of your kids? Because what if the wife left and you stuck home with the kids?
And you have to ask this question though too: has society trained men not to be family men?
Nah. Okay.
And I really think that society hasn't, because you got to remember, every time it's what?
It's a decision.
Yeah, it's a decision. And you have to remember, culturally, all this happens in waves. Culturally, all this happens in waves.
Yeah.
When you look at the early 1900s, what did they do? Men did rule the world. Men were creating everything, and the women were just at home, you know? And then when we go ahead, we get to the 70s. 70 years go past. You seeing great-granny and everything, grandmother, everything. Now we seeing pictures where women are holding their arms up, being strong. They're getting in the workforce because all the men that went out to war, and somebody got to make some money. Right. So now we're shifting, right? We're shifting. The household dynamic is now shifting to now women are holding jobs and taking care of kids.
Yeah.
So then when you look at that one dynamic of a man, just being that provider, right? Because even when the man was shipped out to war back in the day, that was a thing looked at as a nobility and honor, right? You're fighting for your country. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hold it down here at this house and make sure that the kids are taken together. But now I got to get a job too.
Right.
So now I got to have more put on me. So now when you come back, you go, I'm gonna have to deal with the trauma that you dealt through, your PTSD, the whole nine. Because back then they wasn't properly getting the help that they needed either. So it's just more things that added on. So I really do believe society dictates where we move culturally. Because if we're not willing to break down those walls, I'm telling you, that's why I feel it's a lot that rides on men. But I also look at it when we look at the family man, I like how you said partnership earlier. Yeah. Because there's a responsibility to the woman for the household and the family man as well. Yeah. That's what do we say? It's not about bashing, it's about balance.
Yeah, not about blame.
So blame. It's not about blame, it's about balance. So even when we look at that dynamic, even with men and women, it's a balancing act that has to be played with that also.
Yeah. I think when I was growing up, my dad did a pretty good job of leaving work at work and, spending time with us as kids when he got home. Because as growing up, I can't even remember like my dad talking about work ever.
That's great.
He never said anything about it. And my mom did work too. But when I was real young, she worked for my grandpa. So it was like he had a shop in the mall called Collectibles. So we would go to work with her. So we got to spend the whole day, with my mom at work. They even put us to work, But it was like my parents definitely shared that like emotional intelligence, the side of like, making sure that we had everything we need and listening to us as kids and listening to our, our problems, however trivial they might be.
Yeah, man.
Your parents broke the mold, man. Yeah. They broke the mold of the cultural dynamic that's here in this country now, because it was very heavy when we were younger, still very much so heavy when we were younger. So they broke the mold.
And we're not talking to all dads. We're talking to a special breed. We know there's some amazing fathers out there and some amazing mothers out there. Keep doing your thing.
But I'm confrontational. So if you getting hit, it's for you.
Okay.
If you feeling mad, you feeling some kind of way, I'ma ask you why you feeling like that, bro. What's wrong with you? What nerve I hit? Why you pissed off? Why you mad? Because
he just spent all his money and he ain't show up. That's exactly why.
But and when we talk about the self-awareness part, I just want to say this, man. What it comes down to is this. Because, again, I'm speaking from experience. My mom and dad got divorced when I was 3. I was so bad. I've been to 5 high schools in 4 years in different states. They were saying, "Hey, nah, man, go with your mama. No, I'll go back with your dad." I've been through hell. I've been through homelessness, all kinds of stuff. When I had my daughter, and that was my very first child, when my daughter was born, I said, you know what? I'm probably gonna suck as a dad right now because I don't know what I'm doing. But what I made it my goal, anything that I felt like has been a cycle for my family, I'm about to go fight it. Poverty, the presentness, emotional support, right? Just being present. Anything that I felt like my parents did that didn't help my growth, and even though I think my parents was amazing, they both did the best they could with what they had. I'm about to go fight it, and I'm gonna fix it. So really, just do the opposite. If you ain't like your parents beating you like a Hebrew slave, don't beat your kids like a Hebrew. And this is what's called guilt triggers. Anything that you do to your kid that makes you feel guilty, you probably was wrong, right? Like if you don't like being, like I said, beat the brakes off of, don't do that to your kids. Find other communication methods. And sometimes people would say like, well, that's the problem with these kids. They too soft. Man, I'm kind of split on that, because just because they tell you to go get a switch and stuff like that,
I had to get one.
Don't make these kids soft, right? That hurt.
Yeah.
It's grown men right now who can't take whippings like that.
That's true.
Right? But what it comes down to is finding the best way to give your kid a better upbringing than what you had, and not just financially, whether it's emotionally, mentally, and every kid has a different way of communicating. Any parent that their first disciplinary action plan is to beat your kid ass, you're not a good communicator. I don't care what you say. You can't communicate.
Oh yeah, you ain't lying.
You ain't a good problem solver.
And I want to take the word better out, because everybody say the goal is to give your kids a better life. The goal is to take the information that you collected while you was coming up, and it's to make sure that you offer it to them. You give it to them, and from that, they should be able to go further if they take it and, you learn how to teach it to them.
Right.
It ain't to have a better life. It's to have better information.
Yes.
So I have
you
all my
go.
lessons, take my lessons, and I tell my child this all the time. I don't care what you do with your life. It's yours. But I'm gonna make sure I give you everything I got. And if you take what I give you, whoo. But if you don't want to take it, you don't have to, because you can be whatever you want to be, baby boy. And daddy's here to support whatever decision you make. But I hope you listen to some of this because I did that. So hopefully you won't have to go through that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So for a man listening right now who realizes he has some things he needs to work on, what's the first step toward becoming a better man without getting overwhelmed?
I think it boils down, man, to taking that list of those things that you know that could possibly be bad. Because the thing is, again, we don't like to just come flat out and say what's bad. When I'm gonna be very honest, when I have conversations with my wife, it's very hard for me to come out and just say what's bad with me, because I have to admit it, and that's out in the forefront. And now she's gonna tell me the truth. I don't want to hear that, but with that being said, though, that's the first step that you have to take. In order to know what you're doing wrong, you got to put out what you think could be wrong. And then you have to address all of those issues. And you have to find ways to flip them and tell them to you. Because the thing is, like we said, it's good to be a copycat as long as you copy the right cat.
Talk to
But it's
him.
also good to have your own individualized system and workflow that work for you and your family. Yeah. You're the only one that knows your wife. You're the only one that knows your kids, the whole nine. So you need to play everybody to the strengths that they have. As the leader of the household, with being that dad or being that father figure, it's your responsibility to play everybody to their strengths. And when you fall weak in an area, you got to say, all right, I dropped the ball here because I see the result that's going on in my household. So I dropped the ball here. Here it is. What the hell am I going to do to pick up the pieces? I'm not going to go in the corner and cry, but cry though. Cry. Where the camera at? Cry. Still let it out, because you got to let it out. But once all that's done, said and done, what is going to be your plan of attack now? How are you gonna right the wrongdoing? Because you don't want to come in every day and see that same situation happen. You getting pummeled in the chest every day.
Yeah.
Because it's getting shown to you. Well, if you're sick and tired of it being shown to you, change your actions. Get the list of the things that you believe could be affecting that, and maybe have your wife or your kids tell you what's going on too, and be open to that, and then start from there and make a change.
First step, stop lying to yourself. Get brutally honest about where you are, not where you pretend to be. Drop the facade, drop the cage, pick one thing up, just one at a time. That can be listening to your woman without interrupting her. That could be putting your phone down for 30 minutes to play with your kids. That could be a small win that caused a big momentum. Y'all know how that go. That could be many things. It could be getting right with God. It could be getting back with the God that made you and figure out what he designed for you to be and walk into that light. And he's going to guide you right back to those kids and right back to that woman and right back to your brothers. But most importantly, I want to say this loud and clear. Get you some brothers, get you a mentor, get you a therapist, get you somebody to get in your room with you, because guess what? That's not weakness. That's where it starts at. You have to have tough conversations. And if you're a person that's avoiding tough conversations, it's only going to bring more tough situations. Come on.
There it is.
Yeah. Nah, man. I think both of my brothers made a great point, man. And again, just speaking from experience, our message really goes to the men that are family men that are trying not to repeat what they've been through, but they're still, like, I'm talking about the childhood trauma and any kind of thing. Some of these men didn't even have a father in their life, so they're trying not to repeat cycles, but they still got the responsibility of a man. They still got the pressure of being a man, and that's really hard. And if we're gonna break this stuff down to steps, because y'all know I love systems. I love me some steps to follow.
Yeah,
let's have some fun with it.
Step one, I think when it comes to step one, it's accountability. But I want to break down how my brain process accountability, because there's two forms of accountability. There's self-accountability, and then there's also accountability, which comes from the outside. So a lot of people, when they trying to when we talk about accountability, you need both, right? You do need to get you some people that's going to hold you accountable. The reason why this works is because we hold each other accountable. right? And then once you got people that's going to hold you accountable and that's externally, sometimes you need that pressure and people to reroute you until you get yourself in alignment with your accountability. So now you don't need people around you to hold yourself accountable. So you got to work on both. Get you some people that's going to hold you accountable, learn how to hold yourself accountable. And then the next thing is this, man. Like the step that I did was I actually will write down the stuff that I'm bad at. There's no, like if you don't have anybody to talk to, because I didn't trust therapists, I didn't want to tell my friends. If you're a place where you don't want to tell anybody, bro, talk to yourself. Write it down. I am bad at boom. I am bad at this. I am terrible at this. And now you got a list of stuff that you know that you need to work on. So you can start writing this down and then try to implement it every single day. And I want everybody to understand that being a man doesn't mean you have to be perfect. As a matter of fact, I think it's better if you're not perfect. Make the mistakes, bro. Because the more mistakes that you make, that you can learn from. All growth is not linear. And I think that's the part that people are afraid of. They think that they have to constantly keep moving. Bro, I've messed up so many times. I've had backslide so many times because we're trying to break a cycle. I'm 27. That means, before I had my kid, I had been 20 years of brokenness, 20 years of failures, 20 years of misinformation being used and applied to certain situations. Is not linear, bro. The only thing that can be consistent is your decisions to be consistent. So I tell people, the most important step to a journey is the first one. Take the first step. You're not gonna get there right away. It's gonna be a long journey, but you should never have a destination anyway. When it comes to being a good man, a good father, personal development, I mean, this guy is all about rewiring the mindset. You're not gonna have a destination, and you got to be okay with that.
Well, you got to understand as well. You just said they scared because they trying to be perfect. Ain't no such thing. Ain't nobody in this world perfect. God ain't make a perfect human being. If you think you won, that's your problem right there. So
You delusional.
yeah, you already delusional. So to anybody that want to be better, like he said, just writing it down is good. But unfortunately, your head can only take you as far as you took you. So you writing it down is good, but you can't solve the issue with the same mind that generated it. You have to get out of that mindset. And unfortunately, you have to go somewhere else sometime because you there. It's like trying to stop drinking alcohol and you're an alcoholic. You can write it down. I don't want to drink. I don't want to drink. I don't want to drink. But if you sitting around and you ain't taking those steps, you're going to drink.
That's right.
So sometimes you might want to go get around some people that's not drinking. Or you might want to go to an AA meeting and hear the stories of how people ruin lives off drinking, like drunk driving or hitting my wife or selling the kids game or gambling up the rent money. And through shame sometimes, you can grow through that.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of writing it down. I'm a huge fan of taking accountability.
You got to put some action
But
behind
if you ain't got no action,
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you, you wasting your... I ain't gonna curse. I said I was gonna stop cursing.
Yeah.
You wasting your flabbergastic time. So with that being said, that's it. Let's keep going, guys.
Yeah. So that kind of makes me think like a lot of men probably don't even realize they're doing anything wrong. They don't even think about it. So it's like, I mean, for me, like I said, I had a great childhood. My parents spent a lot of time with me. Like I was in Boy Scouts, I was in extracurricular activities and stuff. And my parents like spent a lot of time, like we went camping every weekend, things like that. And I think maybe there's probably a lot of people out there that just don't spend the time with their kids that they should be spending, and they don't even think about it. And nobody's told them that they need to do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and I'm finna say this, and I gotta say it.
Man, let it out.
Does it got to be said?
Yeah.
You could spend all day with some of these kids and you could give them the world. Some of these kids are assholes. Sometimes it ain't the parents, it's these damn kids. They just say it like that. So if you want to be a better parent, first of all, I'm here to tell you, man, that's a tough journey for you. Just be the best parent you can be and keep growing in life naturally. And I guarantee if you grow naturally in the way that God designed this thing to happen, you're going to be the ultimate person you're destined to be. Sometimes that ain't a better person. Sometimes it's not a richer person. Sometimes you was the test for somebody else.
Right.
So you wasn't meant to be there yet. So the stage you're in is the stage you're in. Wherever you are, there you are. So with that being said, I know a lot of parents that think they did a terrific job. If you think you're a great parent, that's a problem. Because if your kids love you that much, that means you haven't whooped their tail. That means you ain't told them no. That means you ain't disciplining them. That means you ain't let them down. And sometimes you have to let them down. So that's why I keep saying ain't no perfect parent, ain't no rule book to this thing. Just do what God designed you to do.
Well, okay.
I love.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead, bro.
I was just gonna say I love how we've mapped this all out today. You know, because I kind of feel like y'all know how I do with the biblical references sometimes.
Get him. You about to hit him ahead across the head with that truth hammer.
Yeah, you know, you talked about having some community. I say this all the time. The Bible says, "Confess the sins among the brethren that you might be healed." So get you around a good family of people.
Yeah.
Get you around some people that really care about you and have your best interests at heart. You know, that's what you need around you. And it also says to write the vision down and make it plain.
Yeah.
When we talked about that list, you know that something is wrong. That self-awareness key. You know when something is wrong, you writing the vision down. Remember, you talked about not having a destination. And it's good to not have a destination. You can have a goal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But you have to be okay if you never reach that destination because you said you're not perfect. See, I love how all these dots are just connected. I just love how it's all connected because I'm trying to paint the picture for the man out here. If you lost it, you don't know where to start. We giving you some framework right here.
Yeah.
And then now we got application, yo. That's what it is. Application. You have to apply. The scripture says this, faith without works is dead.
Well,
so that means if you don't put any movement behind what it is that you believe. Now, we talking about everything that you believe now.
Come on, Pastor.
You done wrote the vision down, right? You done got you around some people. Now you got all
Pass
this
that
knowledge
collection
with
plate
you.
around.
All this knowledge, right? Everything around you. I take 5s, 10s, 20s, cash out.
Yeah, come on, Pastor.
You got all this stuff around you.
Yeah.
And now you have to move and operate in where you don't even not having a destination, because that's what faith is.
Yeah.
Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So you're not supposed to know where you're supposed to go anyway. You're not supposed to know. All you have to do is get out there and try as a man and do the best that you could do with what you given. And if you are able to have some self-awareness, write it down, write the vision down so that you can go ahead and have a pathway for yourself and then walk by faith, because you don't know where the heck you're going to end up.
Come on, Pastor.
Yeah.
You will reach where you want to go. You might not even like where you're trying to go.
God is in the house.
It might suck for you.
Yes,
You might look back at this and be like, nah, man, I don't know what the hell this is. We ain't got time for all this. But it's right where you need to be.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, growing is tough. If it wasn't meant to be, if growing was that easy for you, we all would be the best versions of ourselves. We are all not the best versions of ourselves because it takes time to develop that inner man. It takes time to develop that inner person. We clock in hours for this.
Man, you know why I love not being the best version of myself? Because I always tell myself the best version of myself ain't here yet.
Come on.
I got some time
Come on,
left.
boy.
And to anybody out there that's got a goal, I'm here to tell you the goal was never the goal. The goal was the person you was becoming while chasing the goal. You get to keep all that. So even if you don't hit the goal, you get to keep the person you changed into to hit the goal. Then when you reset the goal, you don't start from scratch. You start from experience. So you don't have to worry about hitting the goal. Just keep chasing that thing down. You're getting stronger every weight you lift. You're getting faster every time you run. You're getting better every time you read. So all you got to do is keep going forward. And I promise you gonna see your way through, baby.
Come on, bro. This is what they do.
Come on, baby.
I hope y'all know this is what they do. And this is why I love sitting next to them, man. Again, because you hear how they talking, that's accountability talking. That's experience talking. So when you have people and they say, like, you know, to your point, they don't know, they're not aware. I hope people know that just because you go through your life as an adult not being aware, that don't mean that you're not accountable for what you do.
Can you say
I
that
hope
one
you
more
know
time?
that.
Can you say
I
that
hope
again?
you know that just because you go through your life not being aware, that don't mean that you're not gonna be accountable for your actions, bro, and what you do. And this is why I'm telling you, man. Like, since I was that person, I didn't know when I lashed out and beat the brakes off this dude that consequences was coming from that. I didn't know that was really my trauma and me, you know, years of me getting bullied that came out on him. Guess what? I'm still in front of a judge, bro. He don't care. He don't care about my childhood trauma.
Right.
I didn't say, listen, Mr. Judge, this how Jeff be when we go to character. Sorry, Mr. Judge.
They go to improv.
That was me and my childhood trauma. prison is filled up with a lot of black men that did not heal from the childhood trauma. They were not aware. Just because you're not aware don't mean that you're not accountable. My biggest thing is, and especially when it comes to parenting and these trauma cycles, people would say, man, there ain't no book on how to be a parent. That's stupid. Because when we talk about it's okay to be a copycat, you just got to copy the right cat. What if people didn't have a cat to copy? You don't have to have a cat to copy. You're going to have to, it's a trial and error thing, but that don't mean that you can't retain information, bro. There's a book called The Daily Dad. It's 366 affirmations or meditations to parenting. How many times did we go through a situation with our kids and then we didn't even ask ourselves after if I handled it the right way? The only way that you get self-awareness is by putting your ego to the side. I hope people know that when it comes to growth, people don't have a growth problem, bro. They have an ego problem because you're growing. It's just in the wrong direction. You're growing backwards. You're growing messed up. You got to grow forward. So growth is understanding, like, listen, man, like my dad told me, son, I can't tell you what to do. I can only tell you what not to do. The point of parenting is these cycles. It sucks, but the point of parenting is to make sure your kid makes different mistakes. Why are we spending 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 generations still having broken homes, still having broken home conversations, still got daddies walking out on the kids and mamas walking out on the kids. They not courting the right way before they come together and have a baby. All he can do, like you said, Noble said, all you can do is give them the best information from your life. Facts. Now your kids can go make different mistakes. They should never be the same. Should never be the same.
Yeah, that's great points, and this has been an awesome conversation, guys.
Facts.
This has been an amazing, like, I think anybody at home watching, you need to rewatch this again because this is great information, great advice for young men. Where can we find your podcasts?
All right, I take it.
Go ahead, bro.
Three Brothers No Filter is on YouTube. You type in the letter 3 and then Brothers No Filter. Not brothers. I have to say that. It's brothers. No filter. So that way y'all don't be trying to put an A at the end. I know some of y'all like to do that. But anyway, 3 Brothers No Filter on YouTube, 3 Brothers No Filter on TikTok, and 3 Brothers No Filter on Instagram. It should be the same way.
Yeah, it's all the handles is the same.
Okay.
We go live Monday. Yeah. Monday at 6:30. We also encourage everybody to stick around for our new segment.
Ooh.
Unfiltered advice.
Yes.
Well, we literally, man, bro, we have people sending entries of situations that they've been through. And it's some crazy stuff, yo. It's some crazy stuff. But they know they want unfiltered advice. And we go in there, we cook, we have fun.
Oh, yeah.
And so you guys can send in entries at 3brothersnofilternf@gmail.com. Man, we got baby mama drama. You see what I'm saying? We got relationships. And I want to say this too, bro, before we sign off, man. I'm so appreciative of you. Anybody that have not tuned in to George Niksch Lakeshore Podcast, bro, you got to. This man right here, bro, his hustle. The only reason we can put this together is because he hustled a lot off camera. People don't understand, like, the way these lights is looking, the way these mics is set up. Like, this is all George being George. And then he comes here and he gives away so much game. And that's why I wanted y'all to meet each other, because he's all, I know you're about, like, no gatekeeping to help push people forward.
Oh, I like that.
Not to use your position to push people down, but to pull them up. He's the same way.
Yep.
And so, man, I just want to thank you, bro, for just bringing us on, allowing us to have this conversation. I know you probably got like 8 words. And
No, it's all right. I mean, it's not really a topic that I ever even thought about. So it was really interesting to have you guys on and just hear the different perspectives. And I'm grateful that you guys are here today.
Yeah.
Facts,
So,
thanks for watching, everyone. And go check out 3 Brothers No Filter, and we'll see you guys on the next
let's
episode.
get it. 3 Brothers No Filter. Somebody gonna need a fire extinguisher, boy. This table is hot. These mics is hot.